Welcome, everybody. So real quick, before I pass it over to Victoria, I just want to share something with you guys real quick. So this is exactly what we're going to be talking about today is how they went from 0 to 6 figures. Many of them, you guys, you're going to hear about how they mastered that 2-hour workday, what they did in their 2 hours. You're going to hear about their proven strategies, and you're going to hear this again from the top digital marketers inside our community. But real quick, I need you to screenshot this because we are not giving you any income claims. We're not saying you can do what we've done. We're just going to share with you what we have done and the benefits it's done for us. So what I want to do is I just want to pass it over, you guys, to Victoria real quick here. You guys, this is really fun because Victoria is actually moving right now. And because of her success in digital marketing is why she could afford to buy a home. So Victoria, I'll just let you take it away, my friend.
Thank you. Yes, like literally when Michelle says moving, I mean we have the movers there. I don't know if you guys can see this, but they are like moving our stuff right now. So that's why I'm in the car because it's just boxes and chaos inside the house. But yes, so my name is Victoria. I'm a busy boy mama. Okay, I've got 3 little boys. 2 of them are special needs. One is a tiny tot tornado. My husband's active duty army, and praise the Lord, he was able to come home and like help with this. So I'm not doing it all alone. But I was the mama that always wanted to find a way to work from home so that I could make a really good income, stay home, and raise my kids, right? And I tried all the things. I tried affiliate marketing. I tried like those emails, like the click emails. But I did MLM, multi-level marketing, for 7 years. Tell me in the comments who has ever done any kind of network marketing. Just say me if this is you, because if so, you probably understand the amount of work that went into that, right? So I was glued to my phone doing all of the cold messaging, those like copy paste, hey girl messages, the parties, the follow-ups, the recruiting, all to try to make a small fraction of somebody else's dream, right? So I was making 25 to 50% of somebody else's company, not of their company. Wow, that would be amazing. But of my own sales. And so I did that for 7 years, and I thought that that was the only way that I could work from home and still be with my kids. But in reality, I was with my kids, but I wasn't present. I was glued to my phone doing all those things. Okay. And so then I started to have my own online boutique because I wanted to have my own thing where I was making 100% profit. What happened for me was I wanted to get so far away from social media, which was why I did my own online boutique, right? But I still was not making a significant income that I could live off of. And so I was still on social media, and I saw this girl talking about how she made 40 grand in 2 months doing this digital marketing thing. And I immediately went, that sounds too good to be true. There's no way that's real because I've done network marketing for so long and I know how much work went into that, you know? And so I'm like, no, this 2-hour workday, there's no way this is real. And it's because society says you need to work more to make more. You know what I mean? And so I just kind of started digging in and I started listening and my curiosity started piquing. And I was in a position where this was a Hail Mary for us. I had not made a sale in my online boutique for 6 weeks. And I said, something's got to give. We need to make something happen. And so I dove in, and I know myself, I have a CEO mentality, right? And I'm like, I'm going to make this work. I'm going to make $1,200 a month, y'all. I went into this $1,200 a month was my goal. In my first month, I made $29,000, which is more than I've ever made in a year. By 5 months, I hit my first 6 figures. And now, oh my gosh, Michelle, I didn't tell you this. I'm 2 sales away from 400 grand. I'm like right there. And it's crazy because this summer, I've been so unplugged because we've had to move and my kids are home. And I just wanted to be present. And this summer alone, while the kids were out of school, I made 75 grand, you guys. Well, I've like just kind of like hardly worked because I've learned the 2-hour process. So this is what I love so much about this program. Okay. the thing with legacy builders is it is Barney style, broken down for you step by step, where we're giving you videos every single day saying, do this on day 1, this on day 2, this on day 3, like walking you through how to start to generate a 6-figure income. You just need to have the will and the coachability and the commitment to be able to do it, because the people that are committed and are coachable, they're seeing massive success. And the other thing that I love about this is you are never alone here, because you are literally being mentored by 6- and 7-figure income earners. I relate this all the time to how many of you have ever like had to go to a job and you sit down to do your training in front of a computer, right? And so it's just like these video trainings, whereas I personally, I'm very much a hands-on person, right? And so if I have a mentor, like if the CEO of the company comes and tells me how to do my job, I'm going to learn a lot better that way than like just staring at a screen. That is the kind of mentorship that you are getting here from 6- and 7-figure income earners, teaching you how they have made that kind of income. So if you are coachable and if you are committed and able to be consistent and follow a proven process, it's proven for a reason, y'all. And this can take you from 0 to hero. Like, it has literally transformed my entire life. And yeah, we're buying, like, we're moving down to a brand new construction house that we just built on a private, like, in a golf community, y'all. Like, whose life am I living? It's crazy. So yeah, that's my little story.
Oh, I love that so much. So real quick, before you go back to moving, if you could give one piece of advice to people that have never launched into the digital space, what would that one piece of advice be for them?
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you asked this, because, and I think like so many people, especially if they had an MLM background, right? The people that have never done that, they think that anybody that is successful here comes from any kind of network marketing because they had that kind of experience. And so the biggest piece of advice that I could give anybody is plug into the training, because we have so many people who have started at 0. And so for me, even though I had that MLM background, I did everything on Facebook, but I personally wanted to learn how to market on TikTok. And so I left that following behind and I started a brand new account at 0, and I followed the training to make my 6-figure income on TikTok. So my best piece of advice is just plug in, because you have all the tools and all the resources right at your fingertips. You just have to learn the marketing strategies to be able to make an income.
So good. Yes. Thank you so much. And thank you for sharing, and congratulations and 400K. Isn't that awesome? Oh my goodness. I love that. Yeah. So Daryl, you are up next now. We're going to just pass it right over to Daryl. But Victoria, have fun moving. You guys, Daryl just posted in the community that he's so close to 200K. And that is from this year, you guys. How does that feel to even say that?
It's surreal, like literally, like, I mean, and the crazy part about it, like, I was actually I have a really nice park right up the street from me. So I was actually doing my content this morning. So I hadn't even checked anything. And I was just going through everything, and I realized that it was one that came in like 2 hours ago. And I was just like, man, this is, I mean, but just the fact of just being right there is, again, it's just a surreal moment, really, when I look back at where I come from and just what happened last year. But guys, if y'all don't know who I'm Daryl Hannah, man. I'm just so hyped up, man. Hearing Victoria say she made 400K in 1 year is just, man, it's just mind blowing. But it's so inspiring, you know, because that's the power of this. Because when I first started this program, I had seen someone said something about how they made like $600 working 2 hours a day. This was back here on January the 13th, and you know, I reached out to them and got some information, and I saw this, watched the video. And they were talking about this community. I was asking questions, and make a long story short, I got plugged in. So I started on January the 15th. But before that, I want to give you guys a quick rundown of my background. So guys, I used to work in the automotive industry for over 20 years, welding, automotive industry overall for about 22 years, welding all together 20 years, one's job for 14. 6, 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, 105, 10 degrees in there, guys. I'm talking about losing weight like a cancer patient. I'm talking about just stress, broke, figuring out which bill I need to pay this week. Me and my wife used to sit down and determine which bill that we had to pay because we just weren't able to pay both of them. That's just how it was. And so, guys, I gave that job everything. I'm talking about I was a real company man. I was a 3-time employee of the month. I just gave a job everything. You know, that's all I knew was welding. And so they come in on a regular Tuesday. I'm at work on my line. I was a head welder over 6 people. They called me to the office, my lead and supervisor, and they had their arms crossed like this. So I knew I wasn't in to get a pay raise. I definitely knew that. So they just told me they were going into another direction and my department was leaving. Now, I want you guys to understand something. You figure if you've been at a job almost 20 years that you used to have seniority, that means that back in the day when you had seniority and something like this happened, they would let the people on the bottom go, temporary, or someone who's been there a couple of months. But now when you have seniority and they're cutting back, if you're at the top of the chain making the most money, you're going to be the one to get the axe because they rather train somebody and pay them little to no money. So that was me. I was unexpendable. And so they basically had to let me go. And so 3 hours after work, I caught myself in my car crying outside the gate, just trying to figure out what was going on because I didn't have any reason to think that they would let me go. I was one of the top earners there at that plant. And so I'm just in my car figuring it out. And so because of that decision, guys, I got separated. I caught myself homeless and staying in a men's Christian homeless shelter because of that, because it caught me at a bad time. No money, no emergency fund, no money in the bank. I was expecting to work that whole week because I needed that money to pay for some other bills, which that didn't happen. So I was counting checks that I hadn't even made yet. And so while I was crying and I realized this, I just told myself I just didn't want to give a job all of that time, sweat, blood, and energy. All those pats on the back I got, it really didn't mean anything. All those numbers I ran, those rates, it didn't mean anything because they just threw me out like trash. Pick up out here on Friday morning. So after that, I came into the online space, man. I knew people were making money. I just didn't know anything about it, but I knew people were making money. I came online. I did a couple things, guys. And then that's when I stumbled upon digital marketing and I seen that post and asked about the program. So and it's funny because tomorrow makes my 8th month since I joined this program, because I joined on January the 15th. And guys, I'm going to tell you something right here. I'm just an old country boy from a small town of about 600. I was raised by a single parent with 13 kids in a little shotgun house. And I'm telling you, you don't have to come from money. It ain't where you're at. It's all about just where you want to go, what you want to do with your life. My mom didn't have the resources that I had access to. I joined this program, and one of the things I love best was the community. I've been a part of Facebook groups. It was nothing. The community was phenomenal. I just got plugged in, went through the training. And I knew I was on to something because I started with the copy and paste method, which is part of the 2-hour workday. But my first 2 weeks, so from January the 15th to January 31st, I made $5,000. And I had never made that working 7 days a week, 12 hours a day, trading my time for money as a welder. And so make a long story short, guys, 8 months in, I'm like basically one commission away from $200,000. I hit my first 100K. And you got to think, when I joined this program, I was just like, you know what? I came in, like I was watching everybody were making them. I was like, man, this is unreal. I said, so my goal is to make 6 figures by the end of December. I gave myself a whole year, but I made 6 figures in 3.5 months, a little bit under 4 months. And that's because I didn't understand the power of social media and digital marketing. I didn't realize it was $1 billion day. And my mind couldn't grasp that. And so, guys, since then, I have just been following this blueprint. I haven't been reinventing the wheel. I've been staying plugged into the trainings. I have mastered this thing called a 2-hour workday, which is very, very important. And I tell you what, the fact that I'm like this close to being a multiple 6-figure income earner in under a year is almost surreal. But you know what, Michelle, I want to share this with you guys. This program is absolutely phenomenal. The skills that I've learned, guys, the training, the community, the support, just everything is so strategically put together. There's no gray areas, guys. It's just white and black. Like That's just what it is. But this is the best thing that I love about this. This is why I love this business. My daughter, the other day, my daughter is a senior this year. And so she has been accepted into an HBCU school in Atlanta. It's called Clark University. Now, I want you guys, and I'm not saying this to brag, guys. This is a blessing, and this is what it's all about. My daughter's going to go there for 4 years, but her first year is already paid for, and that costs $55,000. I'm able to pay that, guys, for the whole year and deal with the rest, paying for the semester as it go by. I could cry right now because that's just all I've ever wanted, because I missed out on so much time with her when she was in cheerleading, when she was doing t-ball, soccer, stuff that I never had a father-daughter dance. I missed out on all of that. And so the fact that now she's going to be 18 next month and I'm able to force out that type of income, guys, because, and this is my why. This is why I show up. That's why this program is a blessing, because I went from working 70 hours a week to make 900 a week to now, guys, making anywhere between a comfortable 25, close to 30,000 every single month. And I only work 2 hours a day, guys, just following this thing. And it's just almost surreal. And I tell people, listen, you don't reinvent the wheel. Just stay plugged into everything that we teach over here. It's not, you don't have to be smarter than a fifth grader. You just got to be coachable, be willing to commit to 2 hours a day, and stay consistent. If you can do that, guys, I'm telling you, it's unreal where this business can take you.
Oh, I love that. And that feel good though to pay for your
Oh
daughter's.
my God, it's almost surreal.
Mm,
I can't even believe it. Like,
yeah,
but I mean, that's just what it is. I'm just so, it's just a blessing, because I could have, when I saw that post, like most of us, because a lot of times we think things are too good to be true, so we just scroll on past it. And I could have done that, I could have just did that, right? But I'm glad that, that's literally the best financial decision I've ever made, because I never made more than 70,000, 65. I've never made more than $68,000 in any year in business, online, offline, anywhere. So the fact that I'm who knows what I'm going to make by the end of this year. There's still 4.5 months left, but it's surreal, because again, you don't know what you don't know. And that's the power of digital marketing, having a system that you're getting 100% of the commission on, and having a blueprint, guys, that's straight and narrow. If you just follow it, and stay consistent and just show up and stay plugged in, it's going to be hard for you to lose.
So somebody had asked in the comments, what do you sell?
Oh, guys, I don't even like that word selling, because it sounds aggressive. But what we do, we promote 4 digital training programs where you can earn 100% commission. And what these digital training programs do is that they teach people and equip them with the skills to be able to learn strategies that you're going to need to build a successful online business, which is marketing, which is knowing how to attract customers and how to build an email list, other forms of recurring income stream, build a brand, develop the like, know, and trust factor with your potential customers, because people do not join programs. They join people who they like, know, and trust. And we teach this through a method called attraction marketing, which is the most powerful and the best way to build a long-term, profitable, sustainable business, guys. So that's what we do. I don't even like the word sale, because it sounds, I'm not a salesman, and so, and it just takes care of itself. All you're doing is just promoting the program, and the training shows you how to implement storytelling in your content, which is going to allow you to attract customers who want to do the same thing that you're doing. And that's going to allow you to send massive traffic back to your website, guys. And then you have a fully free automated system that basically just does all the selling, telling, and building relationships inside the emails, because they're so high converting. And they're going to convert your leads and turn them into customers. And they're going to have an opportunity to build a successful business and get equipped with the same skills, guys, that you do, that's allowing you to earn the income that you're earning.
Yes, so good. Yeah. And you guys, I will show you guys the 4 different programs he's talking about here in a minute. So thank you, Daryl, and let us
Absolutely.
know if that 200
Yes.
comes in
Oh.
during this webinar. That would be so fun.
Woo.
Oh, I love
I'm
that.
hyped.
Yes. Oh, I love that. All right. So next, you guys, I want to pass it off to Ashley and see if Ashley can share. She is a mama, and I don't know if her kids are awake, but Ashley, are you able to share, my friend?
I have one kiddo who's awake and I'm about to run out the door to grab the other two from preschool. So I've got a couple minutes. Perfect
Okay,
timing.
perfect. Thank
So
you.
you guys, I am like Daryl is this close and Victoria is this close to all these milestones. I'm literally this close to my first six figures. I'm at $98,000 doing this, which is incredible. Like it feels insane. Like Daryl said, it feels surreal. You guys, I'm a hot mess mama. I put this in the pockets of my day. I had been in healthcare for 15 years. My oldest daughter is 5 years old. I knew nothing other than like, you go to work, you leave your kids. I had so much mom guilt. I missed the first 4 Christmases of my oldest daughter's life, and it broke my heart. But I didn't know that there was any other way. I've always been super independent, all about out there picking up overtime, climbing those ladders until I had kids. And then I was like, how in the world am I supposed to leave this tiny little baby at the daycare? Like I didn't have kids for somebody else to raise them. So my final straw was after baby number 3. I was still working full time. And it kind of just dawned on me that this isn't the American dream. Like I'm busting my butt, I'm picking up all the overtime, but I'm still drowning in debt. I'm still drowning in all this mom guilt. So what's the point? Like why? And then my last straw was my son needed a medical procedure that insurance didn't cover, and I didn't have the money. I had to ask my mom to borrow money, and it was the worst feeling in the world, just not being able to provide for my kids. So I vowed like right then and there, like I'll get a second job, I'll get a third job, I'll do whatever it takes. But man, wouldn't it be nice if I didn't have to do all that? Like, wouldn't it be nice to figure out some way that I could bring in some extra income? If I could find something that would literally just make me an extra $600 a month, that was going to pay my daughter's school tuition, and that was going to pay my car payment, which was going to make it possible for me to cut back to part-time and be more present as a mom. So I had no idea. That was my goal, you guys. That was my goal. And honestly, I didn't have such high hopes because this was a brand new world to me. I had no experience in this. I had no idea that when I started this, that I'd be having $10,000 and $20,000 months as a stay-at-home mom. So I started this in September of last year. I've been doing this for 11 months. And it's just crazy. I started in September. I quit my job in October. I was present in December for the first Christmas since being a mom. I got to see my son's first steps. I've seen every field trip, every doctor appointment, every birthday for my kids. And I never got that before. I was working 12-hour shifts. I was sneaking out the door at 5 a.m. My husband was getting them up. He was getting my daughter off to preschool. I was lucky if I maybe got to see my kids 20 minutes a day. Like silly little things that I'm sure sound silly and little to other people are so big to me. Like getting to make pancakes with my kids in the morning and just getting to chat with my daughter on her way to school or be the one to pick her up. I never got that before. So I truthfully didn't even realize like how much I was missing until I'm getting to experience it like this. I've never imagined flexibility like this was anywhere in the cards for me. And I love this when I say like flexible. Yeah, it's a 2-hour workday, but like I've got 3 kids under the age of 5. I have to split that up. So I'll listen to our daily video. They're short, they're bite sized, they're about 5 to 10 minutes long. I listen to that while I'm doing dishes in the morning. I get my husband out the door for work. I get my daughter out the door for preschool. I do dishes and I listen to our training video. Then I make a piece of content while my son's taking a nap. And then I'm about to run out the door and sit in the school pickup line and I'll make another piece of content. I make this work around the life that I want because I never again want to miss any of those moments. So I just want to like hopefully inspire you guys that myself as a person has changed so much. Yes, I've made $98,000 and it's been the biggest blessing, but I actually get to be like that hands-on mom. I can sit on the floor and be present with my kids because I'm not so stressed and overwhelmed. I'm not constantly snapping at them. I'm not nagging at my husband all the time. This has given me like something that I've never even saw in the stars for me. So you guys, just in the last 6 months alone, I've paid off $30,000 worth of debt. I paid off my Suburban 3 years early. And I just want you guys to know, like, there is somebody out there, so many people out there waiting to relate to you and your story. So don't look at other people's success and be like, oh man, it must be nice. It is nice and you deserve it. Every single one of you deserves it, to know that your time is valuable. And there is a way that you can pick and choose what you do with your time, and you can make that work for you. You can be present and provide, and you don't have to pick between the two anymore.
Oh, I love that. And I just want to I want you to share one thing that I think is so inspiring, and that is, I love the car thing where you know, are able to literally do this business, you know, when you're in the car waiting for your children. And so you don't have to sacrifice that time.
Yeah.
Can you share that real quick before you go? Because I know you got to go, but.
Yeah, it's literally just that flexibility. I make content in the school pickup line. I literally do this. I will never again, I can confidently tell you, I will never again miss a moment. I heard about this from Victoria. I purchased from Victoria, and I told her before I started this, I'm going to see my son's first steps. And I was there, and I caught it on camera, and I sent her a video, and we laughed about it. I cried about it. Okay. But I can tell you, like, we're getting ready to go on vacation at the end of the month. And if my family says, hey, mom, we want to go down to the pool, I can literally be like, okay. And in the car on the way down there, I can make my 60-second piece of content. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to be like, oh, I have to do some office work. I'll catch up in a couple hours. This goes with me anywhere, everywhere, like literally around the life that I want.
So powerful, isn't it? So powerful. So thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate it. And let us know when you hit 100K. We want to celebrate with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. So you guys, one thing I love about this is we are an international business. So the first few testimonials you've heard are in the United States. So what I want to do now is I want to take it over to South Africa, because you guys, we have millionaires in rand money in South Africa. So Lizelle, are you with us, my friend? I would love you to share your story. Are you with us? I thought I saw her. Hold on, let me try again. Yeah, try again, my friend. You should be able to unmute.
There we go.
There
Hi.
you are. Oh, you look beautiful. I love that
Oh,
color
thank
on
you. Thank you so much. Oh, it's so inspiring to hear the stories. And every time when someone tells their story, it just tugs onto my heart as a mother. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lizelle. I'm from South Africa. And just about 7 months ago, I was sitting right there where you are sitting right now, depressed, not wanting to get up in the morning. I was already working in my beauty salon, which I started because I wanted to be flexible. I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. I wanted to be in control of my own time. But I ended up working so much because I needed more money. And when I needed more money, I needed to book more clients. So at the end of the day, I was missing out on my kids growing up. I was getting home at night, not having time for anyone because I was peopled out. Now, if you have been in customer service or if you've had clients, you will know what that means. You are peopled out. You don't have time or energy for anyone else. And I remember my daughter coming home the one day. Now, think about it. I was working extremely hard. And put in the comments there, if you are working hard, has working hard ever made you rich? Because I can tell you, I have worked my butt off in my life. I've always been a hard worker, and it was just never enough. And the point in my life came last year when my daughter came. I'm a mother of 3 daughters, and she came after school and she gave me a letter from the school that she already wrote, and that the school wrote, and she read it. And the school said, you are not allowed to bring your child back to school if you don't pay up the school fees. Now that day, I went home and I locked the door and I cried in my pillow. Oh man, I get so emotional. Sorry. And no one was seeing me crying in the pillow because I was just asking the question, when is this going to stop? When is the surviving going to stop? When can I just have a life with my children and just enjoy it? Life cannot be this hard. And I remember this opportunity found me. I actually didn't go looking for it. It found me. I had this woman come into my beauty salon the one day. She spent over 13,000 on her face. And I was like, hey, what do you do for a living? I live in a small town. That's big money. And she was like, okay, she does digital marketing. And I remember asking her, what is it? And I went and I Googled about it. What she didn't know was I was desperate for change. I was so ready. I was just not willing to go work for a boss anymore because I also know what it stole from me. I missed my child's little one's first concert. She didn't have a mommy with her because I had to get onto a plane to Johannesburg for business. I've missed out on a lot, and I was done missing out on life. I was done living by the breadline. So I attended a webinar like you are today, and I attended this webinar, and I remember hearing people telling me the amount of money they were making. And I was sitting there saying to myself, if they can do it, I can do it. But $1 million sounded just too good to be true for me. So I gave myself a target, and I said, if I can just make 20,000 Rand a month, then I would be happy. Now, 20,000 Rand a month is about $1,200. That's what I wanted to make a month, because in my mind, I was going to still be in my beauty salon, still working, and do this part-time, because I was so desperate for change. 5 weeks in, I completely left my beauty salon business because I knew then what I found. I found finally a way to work smarter, not harder. I mastered a 2-hour workday. I made 1 million South African Rand in less than 6 months. I'm standing at 1.6 million, 30,000. I am so close to 2 million this year. This is what I've made this year. I am making more in a day than I did a month in my beauty salon. You can come up with so many excuses that you're sitting right there. But let me ask you this. How desperate are you for change? Because change is a click away, literally. I had no idea what digital marketing was. I had no idea what I was in for. And I remember saying to myself, I know myself. I'm a hard worker. If I follow this step-by-step system that everyone's talking about, and it doesn't work, then there's something wrong with the system. Now, let me tell you, this lady sitting in front of you, Michelle O'Neill, she told us that this system is proven to work and it converts 50%, and she gave us all analytics. I'm proof of telling you that it 100% happened exactly the way she explained it. If you are willing to follow a step-by-step system and get out of your own way of feeling insecure, feeling that maybe it's not for you, or always looking at your past, thinking that that's just the way life is. I'm here to tell you, you can change your generational wealth. You can change that generational struggle that you've been struggling with. You can change your future. It takes one person to put in the work to change everyone's life, and it will touch your family and your children's life. Thank you so much.
So, question for you, and congratulations on all your success. Didn't you just make a purchase?
I did. We bought, guys, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I wish I had time to tell you all this story. When we moved after COVID, we moved into a house that I didn't want to move in. At night, I had to take bed sheets to cover the windows because I couldn't afford curtains. That is how bad it was. And I was so shy about our situation that I didn't tell anyone about it. I didn't go visit anyone, didn't want anyone to come visit me. And left, right, and center, people were buying houses. They were living it all up. And yeah, I am struggling. And since we started this business just about a couple of weeks ago, we bought our dream house on the water in the marina. We have a boat over there. I have to pinch myself daily that this is my life right now. So you can just imagine, this is why we're so passionate about it, because once you feel and experience this freedom, you cannot help but want